welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Nicholas, I have built Bant control including some of his favorite cards. This Patreon subscriber is Nicholas Ropp, who is a financial advisor. We've been doing some promotion with him over on the Eternal Glory podcast. If you're looking for a financial advisor, go check out the info at theeternalglorypodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. The cards that Nicholas liked and wanted me to include in his deck as well as I could. There were three, and he said play as many of these as you could make work. There is Broker's Charm. For Bant mana, choose one. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn, deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Destroy target enchantment or draw 2 cards. Destroying an enchantment could be Blood Moon or Urza Saga, Up the Beanstalk. There's a few of those kicking around. Draw 2 cards is just always money. Basic card advantage. Just draw 2 cards for 1 card. And then in a control deck, I really wanted to be able to use the fight mode. And to do that, you need creatures that are big enough to battle. It's not a fight, it's a bite, but they need to be big enough that it matters. And for that reason, I've included 4, the full playset of Triumph of St. Catherine in this build of the deck. Triumph is good versus the Ancient Tomb decks. It's good versus Delver. There are no control mirrors right now. It's like medium fine versus combo, I would say. Not really what you want. But the metagame right now is tempo, Ancient Tomb, and combo. And it's good in 2.5 of those 3 places. It also turns on Broker's Charm for the full 3-mode option. And it has lifelink, so if you bite a creature with a lifelink creature, you gain that life as well. Seems like a good place to be, good way to support Broker's Charm. The second of 3 cards that Nicholas likes is Endless Detour. Another Bant-colored instant. The owner of target spell, non-land permanent, or card in a graveyard puts it on top or bottom of their library. This is kind of below rate for a counterspell, very below rate for a removal spell, and very below rate for a graveyard hate card, but it is all 3 of those things. Modality does make a card cost more, and in a pinch, of course, it pitches to one of our 5 forces in the deck. I think this card is fine. It's not particularly good at anything it does, but it does 3 things, which makes it better overall, and it's perfectly fine to include in a deck. The third card did not make the cut. It's Stoic Angel from Shards of Alara. I was very excited about that card when it came out as well, but there's just not really swarms of creatures you need to lock down in Legacy right now, and the creature is below rate for its stats and everything. Sorry, Stoic Angel, you didn't make the cut, but I made a lot of room for Broker's Charm and really built a deck to support it. Outside of these cards, it's just Bant control, things you'd expect. Uro, Life from the Loam, Teferi, Prismatic Ending, Swords of Plowshares, Brainstorm Potter, the huge. Love these cards, love this style of deck. Hopefully we don't play against too many Eldrazi's, and if we do, I'll just flip Triumph of St. Catherine on them and try to get it done that way. Here it is. This is Nicholas's Bant favorite cards control. Legacy of the North is Ontario's premier MTG community. Experience the Legacy format in any of their 15-plus participating stores in Southern Ontario. The King in the North Invitational Series rewards the top 32 finishers each season with a chance to become the King or Queen of the North who get the trophy, the ring, and free Legacy events for the next season. Come to ETB Oakville's proxy-friendly Legacy 5K on March 29th to compete for big money and begin your King of the North journey. Info is at legacynorth.com, linked in the video description. I'm on the play in round 1. I am going to keep this hand. I play 21 lands in this deck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 21 lands, plus one of them is a Surveil, plus there's 2 Lorien Revealeds, and I can cast this Brainstorm, which could set up 2 Triumph of St. Catherine, if I find the mana to start flipping those. Force of Negation with a blue card to pitch is also nice. Obviously, this hand needs a land, but that's about all it needs. The question here is if I should fetch Tundra So any land I hit can cast Triumph of St. Catherine, or should I fetch Hedge Maze for an extra look at that critical second land? Basic Island, Ponder. A true gamer. I think I am going to get Hedge Maze here. I just want as many looks as possible because the second land's a lot more important than it is to flip Triumph quickly. Opponent did not shuffle their Ponder. Hedge Maze, I'd love to just look at a fetch land here. Easy money. Flooded Strand on top of the deck. I will just play that Flooded Strand and pass. Let's see where this basic island's going. A second basic island. Uh-oh. Okay, Delver is in. It's important to remember that Force Negation doesn't work on my turn and Daze is really good. I'm actually going to fetch now because if I set up double Triumph, and if this is mono blue Delver, this is a Stifle deck, and I'm fetching now where I could force a Stifle. Okay. I'm going to get a Tundra, and I'm going to cast Brainstorm, leaving up the white in case I find Swords to Plowshares. Ooh, messy. Okay, put back 2 Triumphs and hope at least one of them works. I can also play Tamiyo, cast Brainstorm, and then have a Tamiyo, but I'm going to go for this Triumph situation. If they stifle this, Triumph is just in my hand, and then I can play Tamiyo Brainstorm. I feel like you would have gone for the fetch land if you're stifling, though. Consigned to Memory would hit this, but not hit a fetch. Okay. This does get dazed. It gets forced. Force is fine. Daze is annoying. Okay. I'll have to try again next turn. Miss my land drop and pass. I still stand by the one lander, and it is working out fine. Well enough, anyway. Oh no, another Daze. Well, the plan's different now. But it is a tough beat that we are against a Daze Wasteland deck with our one lander. I'm going to decline this Triumph trigger. And I could go for Tamiyo, see if they think Brainstorm is worth dazing. And they know I'm missing a land here. Delver's pretty good at checking Tamiyo. Alright, I'm going to Brainstorm. I think maybe I was supposed to play Tamiyo second here and just not worry about the Planeswalker. Yeah, Hardcast Daze. That is annoying. Yeah, I played that wrong. As soon as I did it, I realized it was a mistake. I do have a Tamiyo now. It's pretty cool. Make some clues or whatever. Opponent's got plenty of lands over there. Is there a second color, or are we actually mono blue? Wow, Jace reawakened! Let's fucking go. This video is actually released on the day that I released my, is recording on the day that I released my Jace plot control video, which would have been like a week and a half ago by the time this goes live, but this could be fresh. They also saw me pitch a Broker's Charm to this, so we both are in the lab a little bit here. Okay, Delver is going to get a taste. Hope I can draw a land. Teferi tends to break open ticky-tack little matchups like this one, if it resolves the redelvering. Oh, yeah. Alright. Or I just play 4 of these, and let's put one of them into play. That one was random. The first 2 I set up. Okay, we finally got a Force of Will out of their hand, which doesn't really solve my problems. Hey, I'm going to make the clue, because I'm not going to block. I would block a 1-1. I'm not going to block a 3-2, and I'm not going to assume it's not going to flip. We're just on the F6 ride from here. Delver didn't flip, which means it's a land or creature. I hope it's not a wasteland. I hope it is a basic island. Snapcaster. Alright, Snap Ponder. Tight. Delver's very likely to flip next turn. That's what Ponder does. Did not shuffle their Ponder. Ooh, left the little Delver back. I think that's probably just a mistake. It's not blocking. It's still good for 1 damage. I haven't plussed this side of the Tamiyo, the other side of the Tamiyo yet. Okay. Force of Will. Ugh. This is getting bad. I'm going to have to draw with my clue and just try to hit a land. There's that Supreme Verdict, which is probably a card that immediately ends this game if I could cast it, which is not going to happen. A Delver flips revealing Brainstorm. I left back Tamiyo because absorbing the Snapcaster damage is useful. They're casting Dismember. Dead real quick. Here, I'm dead anyway. Alright. I am not going to give them any more information. Yeah, just Mana Screw versus a double Daze start out of Delver. That is part of the risk I took when I kept the hand. But now we know the matchup and I can make decisions differently. Pyroblast, Carpet of Flowers are great. I can see Wrath of Skies being reasonable. Veil of Summer. This isn't good against Daze, it's very good against Force. And it's good against Dismember. Okay, I do want this. Force of Negation comes out. Consigned to Memory comes out. I suspect Dress Down will do very little. We saw Snapcaster Mage. We also can assume they have Murktide Region in the deck. Dress Down affects both of those cards. My own Force of Wills. I don't really want a 2-for-1 myself against this opponent. I just want good mana and beat them. I'll leave in the Dress Downs. Okay, 2 basic lands. But I can't cast Tamiyo if I fetch basic planes. I think I'll get Tundra and play Tamiyo. Tundra, Tamiyo. I hope this is worth a Force or a Dismember. I got more where that came from. It's not a Wasteland. We did it. Dismember. Bummer. Okay, so that first Tamiyo is basically Vexing Devil. And now I got another one. Remember Vexing Devil? People used to think that card was good. Okay, the first Wasteland revealed. I am not going to fetch here because I don't know what I need yet. And also, they might have Stifle in their deck. Plenty of lands still to play. This Windswept Heath means I could fetch basic Island with my Flooded Strand and be set up on colors. Kind of just waiting for them to tap out. Like if they just cast Ponder or Delver here, I'll fetch immediately in response. Looted Delta. Okay. I have another land and this clue is really good. I'm just gonna... If you have Stifle, you have Stifle. I accept. Alright, that's fine. Hope you don't have 2. Okay, I can force this Stifle. I'm gonna fetch basic planes immediately. I know this does not make blue mana, but I don't need blue mana right away, and blue is the most plentiful color in my deck, plus the 2 Lorien Revealeds. I got a lot of access to blue. Fetching in my end step. This might be a second color, or it might just be a Surveil land in a deck that wants a little bit of selection. Jace Reawakened is scary. I am going to force this. Whatever engine this is turning on, I'm not interested in it. Beastorm in response. They're digging. I do have Prismatic Endings in my deck that can remove a Jace. But if they just exile Valky on the first activation, I might be out of luck. Alright. Well, Force Pitching Ponder. You've got a Jace. 2 cards left in hand. Is there a Valky? Is there a See the Truth? How bad is this going to get for me? See the Truth confirmed. They're about to bury me in cards. Drew Brainstorm. Blue Source gets me into a Planeswalker mode. I'll attack Jace. Gotta send a message somewhere. Draw a card. Okay. Here come the cards. See the Truth is good for 3. Snapcaster Mage is a card we've seen in their deck. 5 cards in hand now. Terrifying. Plotting another one. Another See the Truth. Here we go. Got my work cut out for me. And a card like Uro could catch up to this. Harbinger of the Seas. Alright, I'm going to float a white, let that resolve, and then plow it. I have 2 plows in my hand. If they have a daze for this one, it's not a huge deal. Oh, I actually like this. I hope they do daze this. I forgot I'm screwed off blue right now. Alright, yeah, that actually fixes my mana. Okay. We got a daze out. Flooded Strand. Now I'm not missing a color. Attack Jace. Brainstorm. Off my Savannah. Pyroblast is great. Put back the Triumph. And I think I actually like Broker's Charm better than Ponder right now. Because that's 2 cards. Plus Tamiyo. Swords to Plowshares this, because now I actually need red mana. And I think I'm actually going to Pyroblast the See the Truth, not the Jace. I fetched around Stifle in a way that plays into Wasteland. Hope I didn't get got here. Counter target blue spell. They got 3 cards in their hand. Tamiyo can rebuy Pyroblast and kill Jace next turn. They're looting with Jace now. Out of good things to plot. Wasteland, no! Alright. Well, I won't be buying back that card. Jace can go ultimate next turn, which is whenever you cast a spell, double it. Okay, I'm gonna get back a Swords to Plowshares. Deal with this Delver, playing around days where I can. Now I'll draw a card. Triumph, hell yeah. Okay, I am once again missing blue mana. Looting with Jace. Discarded the land that they picked up off Daze 100 years ago. Daze as card advantage is so busted. Okay, it's now my turn. Another card I can't play. Draw with this clue. Easy, easy. I'm gonna pass with Brainstorm up. Putting this Triumph back on top seems like a way I can do something out of this game. Depends on how many spells they double next turn with Jace. Looting with Jace. Discarded a Daze. Got your own Tameo. Uh-oh. Okay. Brainstorm time. Put back 2 Triumphs. Just flip these monsters again and again. Miracle Trigger. I hope they force this. Force blue card. Go Hellbent. Yeah, okay. Force pitching Snapcaster. That Snapcaster would have been worth it. See the Truth next turn. Plus my Tameo. Plow your Tameo. Ponder while I know it's good. Misty Rainforest. Leave that Triumph on top right where I want it. Okay. For the first time in this game, I feel pretty comfortable with my position. I can flip Triumph next turn and send Jace on an Endless Detour. Right now, this turn is very important. If they draw something as simple as Ponder, it's probably worth minusing Jace, and then any spell they cast this turn is copied, then you get 2 Ponders, then anything you play. Okay. Oh, they ripped to See the Truth. Okay. I don't love that. Okay, here comes Triumph. Finally, one of these is going to stick. And now I have to ignore Jace for a turn and Endless Detour to See the Truth. I'm going to return Force of Will to my hand. Only 1 red source in the deck. Okay, green, white. I can fetch my basic island here. Okay. If I Endless Detour to See the Truth, and then I can kill Jace at 10 loyalty next turn with attack plus Broker's Charm. Okay, so they're going for the copy mode. See the Truth, the copy only gets 1 card because it wasn't cast. Yeah, cast from an unknown zone. That just doesn't exist. Okay, cast from exile. I'm gonna bounce this See the Truth. Or wait, yeah, that's fine. Green, white, blue. This is the real one. And then the copy will see the real one and 2 other cards. Just gotta hope they didn't just rip a Daze. Okay, put that on the bottom. 2 cards in hand, and these will be doubled as well. Whatever they are. Hit Dismember. Forcing it doesn't even matter because you get another one. So Triumph goes back into the mix somewhere in here. Back into my top 7 card somewhere. 1 card left. Is it a good one to double? Like Delver of Secrets. The copy can't flip because copies don't have backs. Because they're not cards. Alright, Triumph off the top. Ooh, that is not Triumph off the top, but it's very good. There is a 50-50 chance this will just draw the Triumph. But that's okay. I'd rather just have 3 cards in my hand than not have that be the case. And I did draw the Triumph. But I have 5 mana to cast it. I did think about Up the Beanstalk for this list, but the Broker's Charm is doing that job. That's my late game draw engine. Right, Jace looted away another Jace. Murky Reach. I am not actually ready for this card. Or, wait, I have Swords of Plowshares in my graveyard. This is fine. Tameo just doing the damn thing here. Rebuying her 3rd spell of the match. Of the game. Okay, Tameo, get back Swords to Plowshares. Plow this Murktide. And they've had enough. Okay. Don't even want to see the prismatic ending. Beating that many See the Truths felt pretty good. Bant Control is a deck that can catch up to a 3 or 6 card deficit if the opponent doesn't turn the corner and get it done fast enough. We saw Harbinger of the Seas in their deck, which is something to be aware of. That's reason to fetch my basic planes early. Not that I had any doubt, but confirmed that Wasteland is in the deck and Stifle. This seems like the type of deck that almost just concedes to Carpet of Flowers. The only debate here is if I want any more Force of Wills in to outmuscle, like muscle my way through the really important cards. And I think I'd rather just beat them on cards. Though knowing See the Truth is in their deck complicates that. I think it's fine. Let's go. This is what I'm doing. Ugh, the 1-lander. It's full of really good 1-mana cards. I hate this. I'm gonna mulligan. I would keep that versus a Wasteland deck, but not versus a Stifle deck. Okay, this one I'll keep. I want the planes. Do I want Teferi or more Brainstorms? I'm actually gonna bet on Teferi here. Ponder. That's good. That lets me fetch basic island before Stifle can come online. I'm gonna use Flooded Strand for the island because I already have the plains and this gets forest. They did not shuffle their Ponder. They drew a Triumph right on time, as usual. Basic island before it's too late. Another Ponder. I don't think they're about to miss a land drop because they kept their last Ponder. They shuffled this one, though. Basic Island revealed. I will play out the Misty, just in case they like cycle a Lorien revealed or tap out. I want the option to send it while I can. I can also brainstorm in this end step, or I could just hit my land drop and keep moving forward. I'm going to do that. Ooh, Uro. First appearance of that one. I'll probably brainstorm in their end step this turn, because that gives me the chance, if there is a Triumph on top of my deck, I can try to cast it on their turn, and I can put back the Triumph in my hand. Wasteland. Uh-oh. Harbinger of the Seas. Well, I will brainstorm in response. Lorien revealed. Okay, if this resolves, I'm just playing on blue-white. I can Prismatic Ending with what I have. I could Lorien revealed another land out. The sequencing feels like a stifle. I just smell it in my bones. That's where I smell things, with my bones. I'm going to put back Uro and Triumph and then let this resolve with no further interaction. If you want to stifle me, I'm going to make you do it on my giant 5/5 lifelink creature. Oh my goodness. Who could have seen this outcome? Okay, Cycle Lorien revealed. I'm going to get a Tropical Island. I'll play that, and I'm going to go for Teferi. Obviously, this is extremely weak to Daze, but my hand is weak to Daze. I want a Prismatic Ending for 3 mana in the future. Okay, we're in. I can plus Teferi if I want to bounce Harbinger next turn. Yeah, they would need, like, Gut Shot or something to finish this Teferi off. Teferi dies, but I think that's okay if it opens up a turn of fetching. Or I can just Prismatic Ending and fetch my basic and be fine, with Teferi still in play, ticking up. Jace resolves. Phase 2 of the plan. It's starting to happen over there for them. Do you have the See the Truth ready? Brainstorm could be anything, even See the Truth. Harbinger's attacking Teferi first. They have not used their Jace yet. We're plotting See the Truth. There it is. The combo. Mystic Sanctuary. Is that even good? They got 2 cards left in their hand. If I bounce Harbinger, Wasteland temporarily turns on. I do have to think about this a bit. I could also just cast Triumph right now. Put it in front of the creatures on their board where Teferi protects it. If they find a Dismember, that's bad. Yeah, I'm just going to plus and cast Triumph of St. Catherine and hope that this big creature can beat their pile of cards. They did just Brainstorm, so Delver should flip here. Revealing Ponder. That means Teferi's not going to get to bounce anything. But as we see right now, just existing is worth a lot. Ugh. Had the Dismember. Triumph back in the mix. Teferi's dead. See the Truth happening. There's Ponder. They don't have to See the Truth either. They can just leave it plotted and cast it anytime if they have reason to wait to draw 3 cards. Generally like drawing 3 cards if I can. Okay, there they are. Plus 3 cards. Did not shuffle the Ponder, so has all of the Ponder cards in hand right now. Plotted a Snapcaster Mage, which can cast See the Truth next turn. And a big nasty Murktide, actually applying pressure. Brutal. Pyroblast is a great draw, though. Okay, Prismatic Ending. Wait. Shit. I only have 2 colors. Okay. Everyone knew that, right? I certainly did. Okay, Ponder. Broker's Charm, Savannah, Wasteland. Gotta shuffle this. Well, that's troublesome. I think in my brain, I was playing like I have access to... Like they have Blood Moon in play, not like they have Harbinger in play. And I just was like, yeah, 2 basics plus the fake mana. No, I'm actually super fucked here. Yeah, that squeeze of Stifle plus Blood Moon plus Wasteland. Powerful. Exiled another See the Truth. Here's Snapcaster. It's going to See the Truth. I cannot beat this card advantage. This is awesome. Although post-combat, missed a damage. Moral victory. Yeah, there's no Terminus in my deck. I can't cast Supreme Verdict even if I draw it. I need to draw Swords to Plowshares. It needs to resolve, and then I need to cast a bunch of other things. Oh, the brutal. All right. Well, yeah, they got me with the Stifle. I was right to play around Stifle. They did have it. Maybe that turn where I had Teferi briefly, if I could have unlocked my green mana Yeah, I just thought I could Prismatic Ending. I thought I had that in the bank for like 5 turns, and that just was never true. I would have prioritized this differently if my brain was working correctly. Awesome deck, though. Awesome games. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 2, another one-lander. Kind of a tough beat, playing 21 lands, plus Loam, plus Lorien Revealed, and just not having lands for 4 games in a row. But I'm going to fetch Basic Island and play Tamiyo. I could Ponder to lock up my second land drop. If they have Chalice of the Void, I will regret this play. If they have almost anything else, I'll be happy with my play. Bloodstained Mire is suspicious. I'm going to attack with Tamiyo, and then I'm going to Brainstorm. Let's get this going. Okay, I like the fetch land. I don't like Mystic Sanctuary, and Endless Detour might be good, actually, here. I think I'm a ways away from Broker Charm. Tamiyo flips, Windswept Teeth plus Tamiyo. Pass. I can stifle a Tendrils of Agony this turn, or a Animate Dead, a Thassa's Oracle. I've got a little bit of interaction to that. If they're just like Dimir Tempo, I got Plow and then some stuff to do in my hand. Hit the Wasteland. And step Brainstorm. Reads like a combo deck to me. Verdant Catacombs, Bloodstained Mire. So this deck is prioritizing black mana in its fetch base. If this was Dimir Tempo, a deck with a single basic island in it, this would not be the fetch land spread. I think we're against Storm right now. And for that, I'm going to fetch my Hedge Maze. I would rather get more selection, have more options. Savannah does round out my colors. I'll leave that on top. I'm going to plus Tamiyo, and I could Wasteland them. I could cast Ponder. I'm going to Ponder. And hope they don't have Orcish Bowmaster. Dress down in a bunch of lands. None of this is what I want. I'm looking for forces here. The Broker's Charm. The Mighty Bee Charm. I think being able to draw a card or replicate Consign to Memory is worth more than Wastelanding them here. As much as I'd love to Wasteland my opponent, they're probably sitting on a handful of Dark Rituals and Mox Opals and Lotus Petals, etc. Yeah, looks like the Epic Storm to me. Underground Sea Commercial District. The perfect mana base doesn't exist. Taiga. The Taiga King. Veil of Summer. Alright, well, you got me, except I have Consign to Memory. These decks know about Consign to Memory. It's not usually in main decks, though. We'll see if they have access to a discard spell, and if they do... Okay, they gambled away a Chrome Mox, so they probably have LED and Shuffle here. Unless this was like a true gamble. Is that even a thing that they do? They would have played out the LED first, though. I think they probably gambled for LED and already had Echo. And now I lose my Consign to Memory. Oh my god. This triggered Triumph. I will not put that into play. Just in case I flip my Consign again, I don't think having the 5/5... Obviously, like, if my opponent just whiffs, having the 5/5 is busted. But if they don't in any other realistic world. Here I have End Step Dress Down, cast Uro as a 6/6. If I get a turn. Does appear that I'm getting a turn. Okay, in the End Step, Dress Down, just a little card draw. Prismatic Ending, Wasteland. Prismatic Ending, your Lotus Petal, and Wasteland, one of your lands, are very similar things here. I don't think I should do either. I think I should Brainstorm, looking for an actual piece of interaction. Consign to Memory, shit, it's back. Now what do I do? Okay, I'm going to put back Tropical Island and Triumph of St. Catherine. And I actually am going to Wasteland them and Prismatic Ending them. I can take them off black here entirely. Okay. That turn changed a lot as my information developed. They got a fetch land anyway. I don't know how many Underground Seas this deck plays. Ooh, one that enters tapped. That's fine. That's the deal. And they scooped it. Wow. That was crazy. Okay. Null Rod. Consign to Memory. Veil of Summer. All cards I like. Pyroblast can hit the Echo of Eons and the Song of Creation. Swords to Plowshares is not important at all. Wrath of the Skies could clean up a bunch of Chrome Moxes and stuff if they take a slow plan. Hydroblast gets Burning Wish. Okay. Alright, I do want that. Endless Detour. This does not counter the spell. It puts it on the top or bottom, so this can beat a Veil-protected Echo of Eons. This is not a Life from the Loam matchup, even though waste-locking them is something I can do if I have Null Rod. I think this is too many Triumphs. I do have to win somehow, but I can do it eventually. I can shave basic Forest here too. They're not going to attack my mana, and this is the worst land in the deck. I know I've been having steadily 1 mana hands and bummed out about it, but 21 with the cantrips and the Lorians is plenty of lands that you could afford to cut one. Okay, I'm going in. Okay, no Force of Will. I do have Consign to Memory. I'll keep. If they go on turn 1, they got me, but they didn't. Okay. I'm going to play Trop, which represents both Veil of Summer and Consign to Memory, and Spell Pierce, and like any other thing. The District. Busted! They just entombed me. The free entomb. That's bad news. I'm going to consign a Lion's Eye Diamond if they play it. Alright, Lotus Petal does get them to 3 mana. Chrome Mox. Pitched a Burning Witch to that. Or are they just going to play Song of Creation? Just a little Galvanic Relay. I'm going to counter the Storm Trigger, actually. This looks like a really good spot to use this. If they're going to have to Echo to play the game anyway, let's make it weird for them. Okay. Brainstorm could find something like Force of Will. Alright, I will Brainstorm. I did find Force of Will. Put back Savannah. And I'm not putting 2 lands back. And Dress Down. And then fetch Tundra. And I'm going to exile this Chrome Mox. This is why you leave Prismatic Ending in, because it can be just like Strip Mine sometimes. There is an Echo in the graveyard. It will cost them all of their mana, including Lotus Petal, to do it. Now they can do it without using Lotus Petal. They could have Veil of Summer. The interaction I played last turn would not have flushed it out. But I am going to force here. Like, I'm not going to just let them wheel me if I can avoid it. Lion's Eye Diamond is in play. Burning Wish. This will probably get a duress effect. I'm not going to fight over it. Okay. They did discard their hand in response, but that doesn't matter because Echo's still underneath. And this Endless Detour would be so sick right now if I had 3 mana. That's the problem with the card though, right? Okay. Thoughtseize is going to strip my force. Then they're going to wheel. And then we have new hands again. That's why I didn't fight over the Burning Wish. Like, now they're down a Burning Wish and they're down 2 life. And the same result happened. Okay. Complete Brick City. My opponent has played a land already this turn. Ooh, they're just shipping it. Consign to Memory. We love seeing that. V-Storm. Woo! This hand got real good real fast. Put back Hedge Maze and Wasteland. And I'll play this Flooded Strand. Undercity Sewer. Kept a card on top. Bad news. I'm going to get that Hedge Maze I just put back. Force of Negation. Yeah, I'll keep that. Sounds good. Okay, Tundra. And I could play Uro here. Or I could just leave up this Wall of Interaction. I could Ponder, actually. Nah, I like Hardcast Force of Negation, Hardcast Consign to Memory, Pitchcast Force of Will as a nice Wall of Interaction. I can Brainstorm in the end step if they don't do anything. Song of Creation. That's a red spell. Okay, if they fetch and Veil of Summer, I'll Hardcast Force of Negation on the Veil of Summer. Still Force of Will in the bank here. Nice. Endless Detour. Now I could beat a Veil of Summer. I think I'm actually just gonna Strategic Ponder here. Broker's Charm 2 lands. I like the Broker's Charm. That gives me something to do starting next turn. I hope I get the Endless Detour and Uncounterable Echo of Eons right now. Beseech the Mirror. Raw Dog in it. That could just be because they don't have what they need to bargain, or it could be because they just got a 6-drop. I'm going to play Uro now. There's a land on top of my deck, and this leaves up the 3 mana for the detour, while moving my plan to actually win the game forward. Now that puts my opponent under actual pressure to do something. They've had plenty of time to sculpt. Thoughtseize. Stop. Okay, have a look. Broker's Charm can kill Song of Creation if they get it back into play somehow. Took the Force. LED. Gamble. Discarded a Beseech. I don't know if that's what they would have gambled for here. I don't have enough information. Veil of Summer. Oh no. None of the interaction in my hand cares about Veil of Summer. Oh my god, we're doing it! We're doing it! Nicholas, your pet card doing the thing. Okay. Blue, white. I don't actually need Volcanic Island. It doesn't do anything in this matchup. Opponent just said in chat, oops, my spells don't have hexproof. No, they do not. They simply can't be countered. And they will soon be on an endless detour. Okay, blue, white, green. I can Mystic Sanctuary, back my Force of Will. Force Negation would have been better. That's a mistake. And send this on an endless detour. Ka-chow! Yeah, they send it to the bottom. They don't have 6 mana to send it again. And now I'm just going to cast Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. My favorite 4 words in the English language. Uro's in, drew another consign. And they've had enough. That was sweet. The endless detour, solving a problem that Force of Will could not. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3 with a beautiful hand of Magic cards. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to fetch Basic Island and play this Tameo. I can play on basics. This Loam isn't doing much right now. Unfortunately, I don't have really anything to leverage that. And if I'm playing on basics, I won't really give them a chance to screw me off it. We'll see what happens. Opponent mulled to 6. If they're a combo deck, I'm just dead. But if they're trying to play Magic, I'm ready. Basic Swamp. Fatal Push. Goodbye, Tameo. I love you. Alright, drawing another land's not what I wanted. I'm going to fetch Hedge Maze this turn. And step Hedge Areno. Dumped a land. Now Loam is good for 3 cards. Oh, that is a card I can't play with the mana I have. I'm actually just going to cast Loam before making my land drop. If they daze this Loam, I don't even care. That's a daze out of their hand. Cool. They Flooded Strand, get in, and pass. A disappointing arrival of that Triumph of St. Catherine. If I had just fetched Tundra on turn 1 and ignored the possibility of Wasteland, maybe we're better off. This is scary. And Entomb resolving means that Reanimate will also resolve. Nobody who could fight would choose to fight over the Reanimate. You got Grizzlebrand. That one is a little spooky, because that indicates to me that maybe this opponent is on some heavier shit than just the Tempo Reanimator deck. Alright, Teferi's gone, which means that Grizzlebrand is safe to arrive. Ooh, the Consigned Memory would have done something. Broker's Charm kills Grizzlebrand here. But they did get it into play without losing any life. Pretty busted. I'm going to fetch Tundra in the end step. I don't have a second Surveil land. Alright, Swords of Plowshares off the top. Misty Rainforest. I hate my life. Okay, we're super dead. I don't want to play this anymore. We're not beating a Grizzlebrand. Okay, Containment Priest, Surgical Extraction. We saw multiple Thoughtseizes. Veil of Summer is good enough. We saw Undercity Sewer. Didn't actually see a blue card, though. I don't know if Pyroblast is going to play. A Supreme Verdict. Not what I want to be doing with my life. Endless Detour still rules. Life from the Loam doesn't seem important here. Unfortunate, because that was an awesome Loam game. If my opponent was on Delver or something, we would have just never run out of mana. Again, this might be too many Triumphs versus a combo deck. Dress Down does play. I think I'm going to shave a Swords to Plowshares. I want some just in case they juke me and because killing a monster that comes into play might be relevant. But I don't want a lot of that going on. I think I might actually lose another Broker's Charm here. Let's go. Yuck. Got a mulligan this one. It does have double force, double blue card, which is some consideration, but it's not doing anything after that. Okay. This is pretty weak to Thoughtseize, but I am going to keep it. I'll bottom this Wasteland, and I'm going to Tropical Island Ponder here. Opponent kept 7. There's a Force of Will. I don't hate that. If I can fight over this Priest, I've got a chance. Okay. Land go. Entomb me, daddy. Undercity Sewers. Don't entomb me like this. Okay. They didn't get the free money. Dothy Voidwalker. That resolves. I have Swords to Plowshares for that. And I am just going to answer this now, because if I flash in Priest in the end step, and then they daze the Priest, I force the daze. Now there's a Force of Will in the Void Ponder. I'm going to play the Priest this turn. I would like to get this Uro going, and even though if they see the Priest coming, they can plan around it. We've seen Thoughtseize in their deck. Okay. Orcish Bowmaster, a bit of a concern here. I'll force it if they play it, or I'll brainstorm in response and then probably force it. Okay, they do have a nice juke going on. Multiple forces. Okay, force blue card, force blue card. That means I have to put back Misty Reinforced Uro. This is turn 4. I do still have a land drop. I won't know if I need that land drop or not until it's too late. This is a really important Bowmaster to keep out of play. Okay, I'm going to put back Misty and Uro, and I'm going to force pitching one of the Uros. Okay. That fight just happened. Tainted Indulgence. This is just card selection at this point. Ponder. I'm drawing Uro this turn. Uro will hit Misty Rainforest, and then I'll force blue card up and the ability to pay for days on their turn. They did not shuffle Ponder. This basic plains means that I can't cast Uro next turn unless I find yet another land, like land number 5 is what actually casts Uro. Okay, dazing that is totally fine. That's a daze they don't have now. And they have to find a removal spell or be on a creature plan, because like Show and Tell won't juke off Containment Priest. Voidwalker, I don't like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have enough to escape Uro, though. I'll take my chances. Brainstorm. Drawing the land. The land will end up in the void. They just have more cards than me. They could reanimate my Uro to exile it. It's just a play that exists here. Ponder. Seeing the Grizzlebrand game 1, I really thought this would not be much of a juke. Thoughtseize. Shit. Well, I can put Lorien Revealed and Force of Will in the void for them. I'm going to have to. I lose the Force either way, but this version, this sequence at least casts Uro. I will take a Tundra here, and you get the Force, which is now in the void, so they can draw 3 cards or Force of Will off this Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, yep, this is the sequence I just called out. Yeah, they said it's not card advantage, but it's necessary in the chat. And yeah, I agree. If I had Surgical Extraction there, I would cast it too. It's basically the same thing, except it deals a lot more damage to you. Okay, I've got a Hedge Maze still in my deck. That turn did deal a lot of damage to them, which helps if we end up in a race. I mean, we're in a race. All Magic games are a race. Hedge Maze to Fairy Time Raveler. I'd like that, please. Well, they know about the Tundra already, so here are my cards. Do you have Force of Will? Force of Negation, okay. Losing a Brazen Borrower, so the Teferi did not end up in the void there. That's good news. And now we're just slamming back and forth. Them with 3 cards in hand, plus a Lorien Revealed in the void, and me with my little Containment Priest. Okay. They're ready to Void Walk. Void Walk with me. Went up to 6 cards in hand. Brainstorm. Barrogoyf. Okay, time to top deck Swords to Plowshares. Magic's easy. Prismatic Ending, the Barrogoyf. They have so many cards in hand. Just show me the Force. I'll concede. I'll be ready to go. Wow! Didn't expect that to go so smoothly. They still have 4 cards in hand, though, and about to draw another one. Yeah, alright, run it back, run it back. Swords to Plowshares off the top. Force of Will, oh no. Alright, now I'm losing. Okay, bad news, everyone. Turns out when a player resolves a Lorien revealed, they're usually pretty far ahead. Baragoi flips 4 cards here. Let's see if it hits a creature worth having. It hit Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay, I mean, that's a land. It's card advantage, but it's not as bad as a Bowmaster or another Goyf would be. Troll cycle immediately. It's like Baragoi hit a land. Crazy. That's not listed on the things the card can get back. I want to judge. All right, I'm dead here. GG's. To the people who say, like, you still have a Swords of Plowshares, why did you concede? My opponent has 5 cards in hand. They're going to win. And they're going to draw a card of Baragoi the next 2 turns. They're way far ahead here. Yeah, they got away from Reanimator much better than I thought they'd be able to. That Grizzlebrand game 1 made me think that they weren't necessarily going to be good at this juke. Like, it's Archon and Atraxa are the first 2 monsters you play. And unless they were just, like, on a 3rd monster, which has been done. I've seen Grizzlebrand, I've seen Valgavoth. They might just be on the 3 monster package, or they might be a more dedicated Reanimator deck with 5 or 6 or 7 monsters game 1, and then just board out 12 cards. I don't know, but yeah, the depth of this juke caught me off guard. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw for round 4. I'm going to keep my hand, Island Ponder. Opponent's on a mull to 5. Let's see how hard they can send whatever it is they're trying to send on turn 1. Duress. Well, I suspect this Consigned to Memory will go, unless their deck doesn't care about Consigned to Memory. If they're Reanimator and Entomb reanimates their plan, they might just take the Ponder. Okay, they did take the Ponder. Force of Will. LMAO. Okay. I'm getting my Hedge Maze set up. I'm going to force whatever it is they're going to do this turn, and then we will both basically have empty hands, except I'll hit land drops and they won't. That's my plan. Okay, just nothing from my opponent here. Hedge Maze. Smooth me out here, buddy. I'll take a Teferi. I basically never decline a Teferi if I have access to one. Just turns off so much nonsense. Like Beseech the Mirror doesn't bargain if Teferi's in play. They have an actual land, so this is not Oops All Spells. It's some other combo deck. No fair deck would main deck Duress, so it's definitely a combo deck. I'm just going to minus Teferi and get paid immediately. I am tapped out of Consigned to Memory for the first time, if that's what they've been playing around. Now the game's gone on so long, they might have another Duress. That is the weakness of control decks. Ooh, a Bayou. Okay. Is this Witherbloom combo? I hope it is. I have Swords to Plowshares. Is it Turbo Depths? I hope it is. I have Swords to Plowshares. Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm not going to force that. Oh, they targeted themselves. Didn't even notice. Okay, they discarded Grizzlebrand. There is a Reanimate here. Yeah, I should have forced that. And I'm going to force the Reanimate, but didn't even look at who that was targeting. Now there's a Grizzfather in the bin that there doesn't have to be. All right, looking for Endless Detour. Tameo. Put back Forest and Triumph. Plus Tameo. Hope they don't draw Reanimate right now. Okay, land's fine. They can hardcast Unmask in the near future. Triumph triggers. I'm going to fetch in response. I'll get a Tundra. And then I would like to do this. Get some real pressure going. Another land plus Teferi. Make a clue. Now if they Hardcast Unmask, they get to strip my Plow, but I have a redraw. Teferi could bounce Grizzlebrand if they have to pass the turn. This Maul to 5 is saving me. I feel like if they had one more card, I would be dead already. Do I want Force of Will? I think I do. Alright. I will fetch my Mystic Sanctuary. Target Force of Will, which I can hardcast. And I'll draw that with my Clue immediately. And then the real beatdowns begin. Plus Teferi, attack with the squad. I don't even want to flip Tamiyo. I don't think the Planeswalker is better than the steady clues here. Mortuary. Dump to Duress when they know I'm holding Force, so they're counting on this Unmasked to do the job. At 3 cards, they can now... Alright. Well, Thoughtseize is going to happen. I was about to say at 3 cards, they can now pitch a black card to Unmask and then reanimate. They took the Plow, alright. They're on some different shit now. Clue. Oh, I almost have enough mana to Lorien in the end step still. I'm going to attack first. One goes to 4. It's not very much. I think I'm going to Lorien now. And they cared about Swords to Plowshare, so I'll leave up white in case I draw one. And I did. Plus Tamiyo. 6 cards in my hand. I'm going to bounce nothing and draw a card. The Broker's Charm. Okay, Force blue card, Swords to Plowshares available. They can unmask me on the hardcast of nothing else. Okay. Nice. Some sort of Golgari Reanimator deck. I expect that they will juke onto Witherbloom combo if it wasn't already in the main. Veil of Summer seems insane. Surgical, Containment Priest, these are all coming in. I don't think I want Prismatic Ending. I don't think I want Supreme Verdict. I want fewer Triumphs. I don't think they're going to attack my mana, so I'll cut the Forest. Do this again. We saw Lotus Petal. I don't know if that's enough reason to have Null Rod in the deck. I don't think it is. Okay. Didn't see a lot of reason for Consigned to Memory. I'm going to leave in the one that's in the main just in case, and I'm going to not bring in the other 2. Just spread it out. Cover my bases. I like this hand. Veil of Summer's great. I wish I was on the play, but I am going to keep. Opponent kept 7 this time. Not fair. Force Will. Savannah. Okay. I will play the Savannah and pass. Entomb. I cannot fight over that. Dump to Traxa. I can plow that. Thoughtseize me. Veil of Summer. I'll get some sort of good exchange here, even if I end up getting a Traxid. I at least 2 for 1 my opponent. Ooh, they're just passing. Taking the turn off. Just in time for me to find a Surgical Extraction. I've heard that one's good. I'm going to pass. We're in the spot here where I could even dress down Atraxa and then plow it and save all this action. All right, I'll fetch for Hedge Maze in the end step. I'm not in a hurry here. Broker's Charm. Finally time. I don't think I've cast this card yet. But drawing 2 when nothing else is going on is pretty strong. End step fetch. The Mortuary. Dumped a Grizzlebrand. Got a free Entomb on me. Getting unmasked is pretty bad. I think I'm going to dress down. And then... Alright, I'm going to dress down first. Just to see if I hit a force. Did not hit a force. I'm going to extract Grizzlebrand now. Okay, Animate Dead, Chain of Smog. So they can get Atraxa back, but Broker's Charm can kill it. Okay, sick. Witherbloom Apprentice, Spoils of the Vault. They do have all that available. Chose the Mask's Dark Ritual. Pretty good choice. There's 1 Archon of Cruelty in here. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so Unmask is probably going to take Swords to Plowshares, and then Broker's Charm is going to win me this game. As crazy as that is. Because if they put Atraxa in now, it's a 6/7 with no abilities. They don't get the reload. If they wait a turn, Broker's Charm can kill the Animate Dead with its trigger on the stack, then they get nothing. And Broker's Charm is just a worse Swords to Plowshares. Honestly, I think it would be better for the content if they respect the Broker's Charm enough to unmask it here. Yeah, let's go! Opponent's on the correct level. Alright. Dress down dies. And then end step. I'm not even close to Mystic Sanctuary. This Savannah's messing me up. I am going to fetch Tundra, though. And cycle Lorien Revealed. Fetch Tundra. Cycle Lorien. Get a Trop. Just getting myself set up for the future. Tamiyo, Ponder, Force of Will, but no blue card. So they will get the reload off of Atraxa. I think I do need a Force in the bank, though, and play this fetch land. Then I can decide if I want to Swords to Plowshares next turn. Probably do. Yeah, the Broker Charm was definitely the correct take last turn. Because this way they at least get the cards, even if Atraxa is gone. And I don't think I'm going to respond to Atraxa's trigger, because they're not a blue deck. I would like to see what they end up with. Like, if they find Witherbloom Apprentice and enough mana to go off, I want to respect that. They did find Apprentice, Unmask. They have 2 Petals in hand, but they've already made a land drop that's a 4-mana line. Definitely going to want that Swords to Plowshares on top of my deck. Yeah, they might have actually won the game right now if they had Dark Ritual. There is 1 unknown card in their hand. Okay, so they took Archon, which means they didn't take Witherbloom. Verdant Catacombs. Unmask. Lotus Petals, Spoils the Vault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then they unmask pitching Archon. I will plow the Atraxa in response. Okay, off you go. Take my Force, because I am representing hardcasting it next turn. Floating Swords to Plowshares on top of the deck. It's really good, as long as I don't die to Dark Ritual right now. And then taking the Archon rather than the Witherbloom makes me wonder if they drew Witherbloom this turn, or if they're just going to spoil for it. Okay, draw Plow, play my Island. Now Mystic Sanctuary's online, and I can draw that card with Tamiyo. Yeah, I think here I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary for Ponder, and then just draw and cast the Ponder, flip the Tamiyo. Or do I want the Broker's Charm? Oh my god. I don't want the Broker's Charm. I kind of do. Oh wait. Broker's Charm... No, that taps me out. I have to take the Ponder. I could just put Veil of Summer in the bank. That protects me from a lot of what could go wrong here. All 4 of their banger monsters are in exile. They have to go Witherbloom. Okay, I'm going to pass. And maybe they'll just die from 25 with the Spoils of the Vault. I've done that before on the channel. Okay, end step. By the Veil. I could have flipped Tamiyo that turn, but I think drawing the extra card every turn while locking up the ways I could lose makes more sense. Right now, Hardcast Force is live. Duress. Well, you know I have this one. Just got to get rid of it somehow. Containment Priest, no longer really what this game's about, but I will still cast it. End step, draw a card. And Flash in Priest, get my beats going. This is the first damage I'm doing, now that the reanimate part of their deck is irrelevant. The Detour! Now I'm not worried about anything. So the reanimate's not entirely irrelevant. If I Force of Will a Witherbloom Apprentice, they could reanimate it. That's like a thing. Kinda. Okay, I am gonna pass here. I'm just gonna remain super cautious and leave up Grips Full of Interaction where I can. A Mortuary. Dumped a Bloodstained Mire. Good call. You don't need that. All right, it's spoil time. Yeah, go nuts. What I want to see here is Magic Online lag for a little bit, and then my opponent be at -3, and it says BoshNRoll wins the match right here in the middle of the screen. Did they name something not in their deck as a goof? They named Cabal Ritual, a card that does not appear to be in their deck. GG's. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final round, positive record on the line. Opponent has already mulled to 6. I am going to keep my hand. They mulled to 5. All right, Combo City. My hand's not great against Combo City. Unless it's the type of combo that's bad against Stress Down, and I get 2 turns to play. They're down to 4. Okay. Am I dead? Wasteland. Mull to 4 Wasteland. What deck would have that sequence? I mean, nobody wants to mull to 4, but that's really strange. Decks that are willing to mull to 4, short of just like complete emergency situations. Yeah, I mean, I guess Reanimator might be one of them. I am not going to use this fetch land yet. I've not been convinced that I need to. I hope they reanimate this troll now that I have Teferi. And I had Plows anyway, but this Teferi rules. Fellmire, okay. Does that mean the deck has Unmask in it? Why would we have Felmire in a deck when we could play Swamp? Okay, I can just play Teferi right now, which might lose me the game. Or I can use Volcanic Island to brainstorm, and we can keep playing without this Wasteland in my way, and then I can fetch Tundra and actually have my colors. I cycled another Troll off the Wasteland. 2 cards in their hand. It wouldn't surprise me to see a Hardcast Unmask this turn. Okay, I could plow a Orcish Bowmaster, so I am just gonna use this Brainstorm right now. I could also dress it down, draw an extra card. Okay, a bunch of mostly Garbo. I can shove an Uro directly into the graveyard with Hedge Maze. I think that's fine. I'm going to put both my Uros back, draw for turn. Hedge Maze dumps Uro. Now that I have 2 blue sources, this Flooded Strand is likely to get basic planes. I could also go dress down into Uro mode, which leaves up Consign to Memory or Plow as interaction. I don't know what my opponent's doing. I don't recognize the sequence of cards that they have. It might just be a black Stompy deck with Chrome Mox. That's another reason that they might play the Felmire. Alright, Dark Ritual. Ashiok Game Ender, my goodness. Well, I better fetch a planes in response. If they respond to this with Opposition Agent, I can dress down that. Yeah, I'll get planes. Ashiok Game Ender. I wasn't ready. Okay. Ashiok resolves. I can't search my deck anymore, and they're about to get rid of my Uro, which means I am going to dress down in the other Uro and get the beats going. Okay, they did target me with the mill, which they don't have to do. Ashiok says mill target player for 4 and then exile each opponent's graveyard. If they were a reanimator deck, they might have targeted themselves. And they did flip a dress down. End step, dress down. Basic Island, let's go. Mystic Sanctuary, let's not go. Blue, green. This is not how I should do this. Blue, green, colorless. Use my base or my non-basic so they can't cut me off colors. Okay. Now I have a 6/6 in play. It's not protected by anything. Children's Edict. Well, shit. I'll sacrifice that creature. Thanks for asking. Okay, this might be just like a Pox Stompy deck. Wasting me off 2 colors here. Pretty powerful. Like, waste me twice, hit me with Ashiok. This is a great matchup to have 4 copies of Triumph of St. Catherine in your deck, though. And they haven't exiled any of them yet. If I just flip one of those, I think we're cooking. Force of Will. I like that, too. Mystic Sanctuary, Teferi. I'm just going to draw a card immediately. Can't bounce Ashiok. The Broker's Charm. I might finally cast this one. Okay, no Ashiok activation, no plays at all, no land, no spell. Plus Teferi. I can ponder here. I can ponder as an instant too, but I'd like to hit a land drop. Ooh, would I like to hit Tamiyo even more? I think I would. Do not shuffle. Do play Tamiyo. Broker's Charm can flip Tamiyo next turn. Fatal Push. Alright, yeah, I'm not fighting over that. I got a deck full of Triumphs. I'll win the game somehow. Eventually. Reanimate your Troll of Khazad-dûm. That's fine. That will be life point neutral. And they milled me again, which cleared the Misty Rainforest I didn't want to draw. And still has not hit a Triumph. All 4 are in the bottom 28 cards in my deck. There's one. Can we win now? This is what I was holding on to Force of Will to protect. Might not cast Broker's Charm after all. But it's here. It's ready. Okay, hitting me one last time. Did not hit any Triumphs again. There's still 3 more in there. I have Swords to Plowshares for that. If I even care. I think I do. Okay, Plow the Voidwalker. Shouldn't they have done this first? So all the all the cards they mill end up in the Void. Yeah, so if they had played the Voidwalker before Ashiok-ing, they could have put those things in the Void. But I don't think that's going to affect the game because I had the answer anyway. And now I've killed Ashiok. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. I've got Force Blue card. I can ponder at instant speed. Teferi has a minus in the bank. I think I'm way ahead now. I'm over the initial squeeze. The old turn 10 Chrome Mox. You'll love to see it. Exsanguinator. Okay. I will desanguinate that with my Teferi next turn. Just have to make sure I don't accidentally deck myself somehow. I have plenty of cards that shouldn't happen. There's the Detour. Okay, do not shuffle. That draws Tundra. I draw for turn, it's the Detour, I minus Teferi, it's the Ponder. I'll let them replay the Exsanguinator, and then I'll Broker's Charm it. Round 5, we're finally casting Broker's Charm. I pitched it to Force at least once this league, and it drew enough respect that my opponent exiled it, or discarded it with Unmask last turn. But now we're actually using it. Bang. Okay. This creature eats this creature. Zoop. Gain 6 life. I have officially used all the cards. All the silly billies that I was tasked to play. Cool. Yeah, the most like Dark Ritual Stompy style decks, if you get over their initial 2 or 3 cards, if you dig out of their squeeze, you're doing okay. And that Ashiok did send me for a loop for a minute, but once we got out of it, it was fine. Veil of Summer looks good. Containment Priest looks good. We saw Chrome Mox and some mid-range creatures in a game that went 12 turns. Wrath of Skies might be good enough. If all they're reanimating is trolls, I don't want Surgical. But if they have actual Entomb Reanimator stuff, I might want it. Same with Force of Negation. I don't actually know if I want this card or not. Consigned to Memory spent the entire game in my hand. That was basically just a blue card for Force. I think I'm going to shave a Dress down. Triumph seems like the best thing I'm doing. If they have Ashiok and Voidwalker in their main deck, I can go shave an Uro as well. Yeah, I'll try this. Turn 1 Tameo, no real interaction. I don't get got by Voidwalker or Oppo or Ashiok in this spot, though. We didn't see Bowmaster, but presumably they have it. I am going to keep my hand. Chrome Mox. We didn't see an Ancient Tomb last game, but it would make sense for them to have that. Pitched Reanimate. Dark Writ. Thoughtseize, alright. And what do we got? Voidwalker or Hymn to Turok? What's the follow-up? Bowmaster? Okay, took Tameo. Do not want to play against my card draw engine, I respect that. Tundra, okay. I'll hide that Tundra when I cast this Ponder, looking for a removal spell. Life from the Loam, LOL. Broker's Charm, long way off. I don't actually want Tameo here. It's just a full shuffle. Shuffle. Found a Misty. Wasteland, I was about to say, I wonder if they don't have a land or if they were just holding back Wasteland so I would play into it. We still don't know the answer to that question, but they do have a Wasteland now. Broker's Charm plus Priest does kill Dauthi Voidwalker. Important to note. And they do seem more interested in having mana than Wastelanding me. Hey, Voidwalker's in for 3 more. Instep Priest. They might just Edict this, and then that's what they're saving their mana for, because they know I have this creature. Successfully untapped and played a land. That means Broker's Charm and Veil of Summer are alive now. I did just shove right into Bowmaster, a card I identified as a potential problem. Okay, I'm going to pass the turn. Now it's a little cat and mouse. Okay, they do have a Bowmaster. I'm going to take this opportunity to fetch. And I'm going to get Savannah, which rounds out all my colors. And I could Charm to kill the Bowmaster, or I could Charm to kill the Voidwalker. What am I more worried about? Obviously, with Brainstorm in my hand, Bowmaster sucks. Okay. Bowmaster resolves. I'm going to go for Broke. Kill this thing. And now I'm pretty far ahead of the Wasteland, but there are a few interesting spells in the Void. Ponder, Broker's Charm. Oh, they just found mana number 3, which is where their deck really starts to hum. Pitched another Reanimate to that. Good call. That's not going to help you here. And this Voidwalker continues to hit. They continue to not use their Wasteland. All right, I'm going to Brainstorm here with Veil of Summer available. I'm actually going to play my land first, then I'm going to Brainstorm. Because I don't want to be put in a spot where Wasteland could trick me into Veiling too early. Okay. Put back the 2 fetch lands, plus Tameo, plow the Voidwalker before they get access to their incredible Void. Damn, girl, that Void's incredible. That's what I just said to my opponent. I respect it. Another Wasteland. Is there a 4-mana spell they've been building up to? What's going on here? I feel like I'm ahead in basically every way. Sheoldred. Okay. That one's real good. Alright. I am now still fine because there's the Swords of Plowshares in my graveyard. Alright, never mind. Sheoldred is the type of thing that makes sense why they would have carefully... Oh, are we just goofing now? Just putting cards in the graveyard because you know you're dead? Okay. Fetch in the end step. Get the Hedge Maze. I will keep Brainstorm. I'll just be sure not to cast it until Shoulder's gone. I go to 6. I get back Plow. We handle the Shieldred. I'm actually going to waste one of their Wastelands. They have 4-drops and stuff, and like this also stops them from wasting one of my colored sources. I could Brainstorm now, or I could Brainstorm on their upkeep. I'm actually going to go now just in case there's a Triumph on top of my deck. There was not a Triumph on top of my deck. Okay. Put back Basic Forest, Lorien Revealed. Thoughtseize. Well, we'll make this trade. Now I have to draw the stupid forest. They can't really afford to wasteland me, which is great. Okay, they're doing it now. That does take me off Mystic Sanctuary, which I was going to use here. Lorien Revealed. Build mid-game Ancestral Recall. And I'm now in a place where Tamiyo can rebuy Lorien Revealed. Pithing Needle. Alright, Tamiyo can no longer rebuy Lorien Revealed. Not until I find one of my Prismatic Endings or Teferi. If I find Wrath of the Skies, they'll just have 0 permanents. Be a 5 for 1. Let's draw that one. Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar named. Lorien Revealed. Again. Alright, I'll continue revealing Lorien. Lorien's going to end up on a list. With all this revealing. What's going on? A hands full of good cards. Bowmaster, I think, is the scariest card they can cast for 2 mana. Brainstorm. I have the Plow, so I'm not actually worried about Bowmaster. Put back Triumph and Wasteland. Or Triumph and Mystic Sanctuary. Or if I'm going to play Uro, which I am, okay, I'll put back Triumph and Wasteland. And then Uro. Okay, I draw the Wasteland. Put in the Mystic Sanctuary. Target the Veil of Summer. Or the Lorien Revealed. I'll target the Veil. That might be Wuss Magic, but I'm playing Wuss Magic right now. And I'm okay with it. I draw Veil of Summer next turn, and then I draw Triumph the turn after that. If they do something that flushes out the Veil, then I Triumph on their turn. Oh, I stacked this all wrong, because if I play Uro, Triumph's just back in my hand. Okay, I could have done all this better. Luckily, it doesn't matter. We're just so far into garbage time. The Uro's on the stack. Drawing a Triumph, it's fine. I got plenty of mana to cast it. I'm not going to shuffle it away. And passing the turn. Force, Veil, Giant Creatures, Life Gain. And they had enough. A positive record with Bant Control featuring 2 of Nicholas's 3 favorite Bant cards. The Endless Detour actually had a serious moment where it beat a Veil of Summer because it's not actually a counterspell. The Broker's Charm finally in round 5 did kill a few things with the fight mode. Never killed an enchantment, never drew cards. Did pitch to force, did get targeted with an unmask. I'll take those as respectful outs there. This list probably doesn't respect Turbo Graveyard enough. Like, I don't know if I actually have enough in here for Oopsal spells. We didn't play against Eldrazi, which is great. Kind of a weird thing happening in the metagame right now is that control is not viable in real tournaments because of Eldrazi's play rate, and no control deck can beat Sowing Mycospawn ever. But if you play a control deck and you don't queue into Eldrazi, it feels fine. A little bit of a metagame wiggle there. 4 might be too many Triumphs. I was just really trying to make the bite mode on Broker's Charm really good. We ended up with a lot of these in opening hands where they weren't that useful, or flipping them when we weren't ready. I mean, that happened once. That's just RNG though. But maybe 3 is right if you were really serious about tuning Bant Control. 2 or 3 probably feels like a good number, but you do want a big animal like this right now. Uro is just too slow. You want Uro too, but Triumph is the type of thing that can really just jam up a Broadside Bombardier or a Thought-Knot Seer. That's kind of what you need to be doing right now. This was a lot of fun to play. It was a lot of fun playing these dope Bant cards. Cards that I also enjoy, for the record. I don't have them on a Mount Rushmore or a short list or anything the way Nicholas seems to, but these are both cards that I enjoyed when New Capenna was legal. The Stoic Angel didn't make the deck, but that was a card that I really liked during Shards Block as well. It was fun to revisit these old cards. Nicholas, thank you for encouraging me to play this deck. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. If you want financial advising from Nicholas, go check out his information on the Eternal Glory podcast. I will see you all next time.